Hi everybody, it's Colin here from Colin's Engage. I've got a bit of running session, but I've got a train I've been looking for a few years now, a couple of years, since I've got into the, like in the American stuff, and I've actually got one. Reasons for not getting it sooner, as much as how much there were, finding the right one at the right price. But I found the one at the right price. I ain't going to get one any better than this. Unfortunately, someone's had to give up, and he only had, I think, one, and the coach is what went with it. Unfortunately, I would have bought the coaches, but I've already got a set, and I would have bought them off him. But unfortunately, I got them over a year ago now. So what did I get? Well, as you already know, it's the American scene, and it's this, an 844. Now, why I wanted it is because they do a lot of tours with this, and I got the coach set, what goes with it, and I've also got the tanker wagons. I just got them only a few weeks ago. Well, maybe 2 months ago, sorry. And I did have this on order from a shop, but the stock said it was in actual stock. But when you come to order it, it came up, it wasn't. Now, they had the tankers, and they were out of stock, but this was in stock, and unfortunately it really wasn't, and I gave them so long to try and get it shipped over, it just wasn't working, so I claimed the money back. Now, I was going to pay about $245 for it without the chip, brand new. Well, this hasn't really been used at all, as in he got it out of the box, he liked it, maybe ran it once, and that's about it, just to see that it ran. He ran it in DC. I'm going to change it into DCC, and I'm going to show how to do it. And basically, he had it on the internet for 145. I hadn't seen it at all. Just by chance, I did a search, not for this, just for anything, and this was up for 110, showing that he'd knocked it down. Anyway, contacted him, asked him how much for the postage. He said for 35. I'd already told him roughly where to, what area, and he said for 35. And he then said, make me an offer. Well, to be honest, it was worth 155, but, he said make me an offer, and I just said £100 plus the postage, and he said great. So £100, absolute 100% bargain, and I've got a decoder for it, and the decoder was £31 plus £2 for delivery. Both came today from different places. This came from Devon, I think. So let's get it out of the box. And interesting, I had a look at the end just to see how, and it's just layers of foam. There's no metal, plastic box round it. Like most of the Kato and all our stuff, but it's still well protected. I quite like the idea of that lifting off because, as you know, with the steam trains, the valves and stuff, you know, you can get your paws on. But I'm going to have to look it over the camera. That's it. Now, they do a different number one. I think it's 834 or something like that. But that is the freight version. And eventually, that is more readily available. This little beauty is the one I actually wanted. So, let's put it on there. See if I can pick it up without it falling over. Maybe I'll have to put it on something a bit harder. Put it onto that. So that's it. Now I'm very interested to see how a steam engine goes of Kato, because they just run as if you've never had a Kato, but if you've had an 800, they're just so amazingly brilliant at running. Right, I'm just going to pause it because I need to have a look at the instructions, which are under here. Not a lot to them. For some reason they put 2 in. I don't know why, but that's the instructions. Telling you different things. Possibly see why. No, they're both in English. So, and this is a Kato American. I believe it's made in America because there's like 2 divisions, if I've got my ideas right. So I'm just going to have a little pull at the roof bit, that bit, to get to a screw, so I believe. So I'll just pause you because I don't want to knock the camera while I'm doing this, and I'll be back. Okay, very simple. That bit, which is the roof cover, I just lifted the back edge up and it just lifted, and then I just gently pulled on this edge because that was closest to me, and it just unclipped, and then it says lift the glass out round it to reveal a screw, and in there is, I don't know if I can zoom in and show you. There is the screw. I'll just get a screwdriver out so we can have a little go at it. So the screw is there, and it says this will expose a small screw. Yep. Remove it and you will be able to lift up the entire boiler assembly. So I assume that's from, move it over a bit, from here. I don't know if it's right through or what, but let's take the screw out and find out. Hope it doesn't go badly wrong. And my, Never done this type. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, look at that. So the entire body has come off, and it looks like there's just how that hooks on. It just pulls back on, but we'll do that in a minute. The screw is still there, put that in that. And there is a chip. What's in to make it DC? So now we have to take that off. But first, I'll just show you. I tend to get most of my stuff for the American market from these people. I have a on the computer a program I can go to where you put in many makes, the scale first, then the make, and then the engine. In this case, an FEF-3 844, and it tells you what chip. And this one actually had 3 different types of chip, and one of them was a sound chip. What comes with the speaker already on. God knows where you put it. I assume you have to put it in that area there, but this is the chip to replace that one in there. And they usually just clip in, but inside tells you all about what power it is and stuff like that. How many steps, you name it, it's on there. There's even little diagrams on the back for doing reversing loops and other stuff to sell. But I'll just get the instructions out, because usually they tell you what to do. But the other thing, sometimes I get them from Coastal, whatever the name is, and you can just get a video, and they'll show you a video of how to put it in if you're, unsure. This chip also goes into some of the diesels. I haven't actually, for European stock as well, made by Kato. So it's handy that they have, some shapes, these with, I'm saying the shapes, how that's got little slot in there. Some have 2 slots in. Well, that has 2 slots because there's a bit of paper stuck to it, and that'll probably be so it insulates it, or you have to pull it off. So I will have a little look at the instructions, and before I take it fully out, I'll show you how it's done. Right, that bit just clips off. That's a retainer to keep these touching that bit of metal and the bush part of the motor. And what I believe you have to do is take them off and put them on the new one, because naturally they're not on. And it says this is on the instructions. It shows them, excuse me for pointing, if I can get the picture in. Those, oops, sorry for knocking that's them things there, the motor tabs, and that's the little retainer. So I don't know, I think I pull the motor tabs. So carefully remove the factory light board by sliding it towards the front, then gently lift the board. Right. So what I'll do, because I need to get a bit closer, I can't do it sort of from a distance. I need my eyes don't get that close. So I'll just put you on pause a minute. Right. What you do is, when this is under these little tabs here, that's holding that down, there's a peg on the end, which I don't know if I can show you. I think you can see it there, and that goes in that. You just have to hook it, lift that up, and then it pops out. And then the wires in this one, every one is different with the chips. The wires are attached to that, and this is just a little bit of a spring loaded to get it off the actual board. Sometimes you just got to be brave to actually pull them off, because otherwise, you know, you think, oh, I'm going to break it, and you mess about with it. And it's just finding there's some little holes. I'll show you in a second, because I can see it already, and I've got my hands in the way there. You see those holes? Well, on the underneath side of that, there must be a hole. And that's going down to the pickups of the wheels or into the tender, because there's a wire from the looks of it going across, so that's how they get some of the power up to the engine. So I'll just take this side off. Sorry for great big numb hands in the way. And then that's that one off. That's it. And that is a DC blanking plate for this particular engine, and no doubt in the diesels as well. So I'll just put that there. Get this one out. And this is the replacement. Now you have to put it the right way around. And if I just lay that next to it, if I can get my hands in, and that's the replacement. And you can see that the holes, everything is right on that. The shape is right. So I know it goes that way round. Oops. I do apologise. If I just move it back. Sorry, I didn't know you couldn't see it. It goes that way around because that's the way it was in there. And the cutouts in the plastic of the board is exactly the same. So we know that this just has a bit of tape on, but it's not going to interfere with, because these ends are free. And I don't know if you can actually if that's to peel off, but you don't need to stick it down because it clips in. So what you have to do is just put this back onto the those holes, and I assume the middle part goes underneath the board, that middle bit there. And the two outer ones go on the top and clip into the hole. And I might have to do it without the camera running on the first one, just so I can get my head and eyes a bit closer, because there's not much play on that wire, and there'll be, once you know how to do it, it'll be really easy to do on, if I get a freight version. I'll just give it a couple more goes with the camera running. But I need to get my head closer, don't I? Let me just put this one on, and then I'll try and show you doing the other side. Do apologise. Right, that's clipped on. That one I did first, performed like an orangutan, got it on eventually. That one, I did it how I was trying to tell you, be a bit more positive in your feels and pushing and stuff, and you won't break it. But like I say, orangutan, bit different. Don't know, maybe a chipmunk or something. Don't know if they're any brainier. Anyway, it's on. So now I just push it back down, clip it on, put the retainer on, and go from there, which I will show you. So you just push that in there, make sure that that stays on that side, and then it all should just push in. You watch. Yeah, there it goes. Not too much that. Gotta get it down there. Just like that. As easy as that when you just get on with it. So that's that. And now I'll put it back together and we'll go and give it a test and I hope it works. Right, so now I've just got to put this retainer in. I believe everything's okay with it, and I just believe that just snaps on to there. But you could say it doesn't. It does if you put it the right way around. So then you just put the cap back on. Excuse a great numb flipping finger. Oh no, let's put the body back on first. How does that go down there? Again, it's just a bit of a fiddle, doing it behind the just go back a little bit. Just trying not to squeeze. That's it. On the these bars, because if you press on them it bends them a bit and sometimes you get a click or it doesn't turn because the damn metal is touching the other bar. So tell you what, it'd be good if I use the right screwdriver on it. A fillet for a fillet's head. Then, just check that it's down. Yeah, that looks good to me. And that's okay there. Clip that back on there. And that just goes down like that. And I like how the roof extends over the tender a bit to keep the men dry, you know. I look after them, don't I? But that's it. That is the blanking plate taken out and a decoder, DCC decoder putting in. It's a little bit more awkward on this steam engine compared to diesels, the American diesels. The body just lifts up off a American diesel, exposes that, you slide it, you lift it out. They are called drop-in decoders, and they're literally, that did drop in and slide on. It was a bit different with those connections what went down from here onto the actual motor, but generally speaking they are very easy to do, like 6 pins, you know, and the 18 pins how they are in Grain Ferris and Dapple, they just push in. But these have the lights of, as you see on here, it has a light front and back. This one done on the blanking plate. So let's take it upstairs and have a look and see if it works. Well, here it is on the track. One thing I thought may happen, it won't go around Stoney-ole's layout, which is this, because it's twisty and turny and small-ish. It's a great layout, but we had to put tight curves on to get everything in, and this little beauty doesn't like the tight curves up there. It'll go up this one, round the outside and round the first bit, but then it struggles. So we can't actually run it very far, but I'm very pleased with the movement of the train. It runs very nice for a steam train. Put the control up so I can control it a bit more. But I can't run it under the next tunnel because it's very sharp under there, and that won't go around. What is interesting, the 9F does, but this just doesn't want to know. But at full speed, you know, for a steam train, it runs nice and smooth. And I'll stop it there before it comes off. Okay, so I've got it set up with the tankers, the water tankers, the diesel. Now, I know this isn't usually the diesel you use. It is a UP one, but I haven't got any UPs here. There is one at Woodthorpe layout, and the coaches are here. So I'm just going to run it round to the steam engine gets to that point there. But this is what I was wanting to do, to have the set, and barring it being a yellow diesel like the coaches, but at least it's a UP train. and it also has heritage on the side of the diesel. So I'll get one eventually. No doubt sometime there'll be a bargain. That'll be the time to get it. So as it comes out of there. And unfortunately Stoney-ole cannot just cope with this size, but in all fairness, it wasn't built for this, you know. It was built for small freight, small passengers, you know, a couple of coach DMU, but mainly for the quarry setup and wagons. So very grateful yet again for Gemma letting me use her layout. It's nice to see the setup. So that's why I wanted that steam engine, to make that setup.